What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How you guys doing today? How you ladies doing today? It's your guy, DeMarcus, and we're going to be talking about the rough draft is today's topic. Today is June 5th, 2019, and we're going to be on this is the beta project, by the way. You can always find us on YouTube at Humble and Focus, all one word. And today's quote to start us off is the purpose of the first draft is not to get it right, but to get it written. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do it. Whoops, I need this. All right, what's going on? How are you? Got my quote in the background. Boom, that's awesome, right? So let's talk about this. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've all seen, as a matter of fact, I don't even think I put it on here, but let me see if I can get it here going. You've all seen when you're going through school and they say, hey, we need you to write a research paper, or we need you to write a history paper, or we need you to do something and write an essay or something. And so what you do is you write an essay, or you get yourself in there and you're strapped down, you're really excited about it, and your teacher gets in there and tells you the way to do it and how she wants it done, and you're like, okay, cool, I can do that. Hold on, there I am. I'm bringing it up. And what happens is you write this report. This is just an example report. I just went on the net and found one. So you find this report here, and the report itself, you turn it in and you think it's good because it's important. So let me pull this up. If I can get it all up there. So you got this report, and you write it and you turn it into the teacher, because obviously you don't just turn in the first draft first. The first thing you turn in is you turn in the rough draft. Now, if you notice this thing, what's the first thing you notice? It's not clean, it's not neat. It's printed that way, but guess what? You see all those red marks on there that are telling you to change different aspects of the paper. The whole point of a rough draft, ladies and gentlemen, is for you to invest time into writing it and getting it on paper. Like I said, it's important to get it on paper. It's not to be perfect. And you turn it in, and the rough draft is designed for you to create the next level. The rough draft is necessary for you to go to the final draft. Ladies and gentlemen, we often get stuck on those red marks on our rough drafts, and we don't realize, and we take that as a negative. Just like in life, when somebody tries to tell you something about yourself that you possibly need to hear, you automatically get defensive. Did you know that some of the grade schools and some of the high school, middle school, school level period have actually banned red markers and red pens and red pencils from being utilized in grading because they feel like it takes children's, what do they say? They say it makes children react negatively. Because the problem is that we view this color as being negative. In all reality, ladies and gentlemen, all this color red is trying to do is, one, it stands out from the black and the white, and it's there because it's telling you, hey, something has to change. The whole idea of a rough draft is to give you an idea of where the final draft is going to go. You might have to change some things. You might have to do some things different. You might have a word that's misspelled. This may not be a sentence. But these are necessary components if you want to have a proper paper. There's nothing wrong with mistakes in life, ladies and gentlemen. That's one of the things that we have to learn when we're growing up, is that there's nothing at all wrong with the mistakes that go in life. The problem is that when we have mistakes in life, we sit in them, we dwell in them, or we ignore them. So it's like turning in a history paper. Your teacher, as a rough draft, your teacher marks it up, gives it back to you, and you take it, you don't even change anything, you hand it back in. Ladies and gentlemen, the whole point of life is to get better with time. But if you're living the same life you did yesterday, after you know good and well what you were doing in the start was not good, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be a very long life, and you're not going to be able to achieve what you want. The rough draft is necessary, as I said before, to get to the final draft. And that red mark that's on the paper is going to allow you to make the changes necessary to go to that next level. Don't be scared of the change. Don't be scared of the mistakes. As a matter of fact, embrace the mistakes. Because as you write something down and you get it on paper, what you begin to realize is that maybe I wasn't perfect from the start. Maybe this paper wasn't perfect from the start, but it has potential. Maybe this paper wasn't exactly what it needed to be, but it can be better. Are you wanting something better for your life? Are you wanting something more for your life? Do you believe that you can give something more to your life? If you believe these type of things, ladies and gentlemen, then you embrace the rough draft. See, the society we live in teaches us to kind of stay to our own and not ask for help. It teaches us to be alone. It teaches us that we're fine the way we are, love who you are, blah, blah, blah. I get it, right? But ladies and gentlemen, the problem is that they don't teach us that at a certain level in a certain place, you got to step up and step forward to go to the next level. We're not meant to stay where we are. If we were, we would all stay babies the rest of our lives, but we don't. We grow. So we grow physically, but we're not willing to grow emotionally. We're growing physically as children, growing to adolescence, but we're not willing to grow our minds as we become adults. Because we're adults, we assume that our growth is done. We've done all the growth. We've went to school. We've learned all the lessons. We've got the job. We've got everything done. So, ladies and gentlemen, the growth has to be done, right? In all reality, ladies and gentlemen, that's one of the problems with the world right now. Is that we assume that the growth is done because we hit a certain level. We assume that, oh, I got the job. Oh, I got the money. Now my growth is done. Oh, no. The growth has just begun at that point. This is the time that you start writing your rough draft. Because here's the thing about it, ladies and gentlemen, the report that you would write as a child growing up is not the same report you're going to write as an adult. It's not going to be the same. The content may be the same, but the things that are going to go in it are not exactly the same. It's going to be more complicated and more in-depth as you write it as an adult than as a kid. You get what I'm saying? The person who would have been speaking to you as he was a young adult, DeMarcus, would not have been as refined as what you see now. But as old DeMarcus, I had to take stock in what he was. I had to turn in my rough draft, take some notes down, mark up some things with a red pen, and so I could write my rough draft into a final draft. But guess what? It's not even done that. That was just my first rough draft back then. This is my second rough draft I'm writing right now, because I know that as I keep going stronger and I get bigger and bigger and more powerful in my mind and my beliefs, and as I begin to study and keep studying, I will become stronger, and my next draft, which is still not going to be my final draft, will be even more powerful than the one I have now. For every level that you go to, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have less and less red marks on your paper. But guess what? You might have a different piece that comes in there, because your thought process is different. So I'm just asking you this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm asking you one thing. Let me pull this up for you. Let me pull this up. So I got right here kind of a red mark paper up. You can see that kind of red. I want you to start looking at your life as like it's a rough draft. And don't be so ashamed that the red marks hit, because, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? The problem is we have a society that says that everybody's great. Instagram shows everybody looking great. Oh, I'm on Instagram. Look at me now. I'm so great. My life is so great. Eating ramen noodles like a champion. Dining out like a big dog. Out with the hump. You get what I'm saying. Like, Instagram makes life seem like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But, ladies and gentlemen, the problem is that when we look at these Instagram posts, it's like we're not even looking at the red marks. They're letting us see one sentence of our paragraph. See, the thing is, we get on these Instagram posts and we see one paragraph. Or we see one sentence. And we're, ooh, that's a life I want. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't see this thing is marked up with all kinds of red. But they're trying not to get you to see this. We want to ignore that red. But, ladies and gentlemen, that red is so necessary, because if you don't acknowledge the red, you don't move forward. If you don't, see, think about it like this. If your teacher doesn't mark up your paper and you turn it in and she turns it back into you, all you're going to do is have the same paper. You will not make any adjustments. The average person will not step forward and do any adjustments on a paper with no red marks. Why? It's more work. See, here's the thing about it, ladies and gentlemen. There was a point in time before computers where you had to do this. Oh, are y'all ready to see what it used to look like to write a paper for those young cats on my post? On my thing here. Here we go. All right, it is now time to write an essay. I gotta sit down, and there's this thing called a pen, or your teacher will always want you to do it in pen, right? And there's this thing called paper, and you would just. And then that was your rough draft. I mean, even write rough draft on top. Okay, that was your rough draft, right? And so you would get this, right? And you would write it on, and then your teacher would mark it up with some red. I don't have no red here. Nope, I ain't got no red here. Oh, I do got some red. Watch out now with marking. Okay. So I got the red, you're marking up. Boom, boom, boom. Ba-da, ba-da. Circle this. Ooh, gotta do that. Oh, put that there. Oh, wait. Oh, there it is. Oh, yep, and that's great. Oh, put it up. So your teacher would mark it up with red, and you know what you had to do? See, we didn't have computers all the time back in the day. You had to take this by hand and rewrite the whole thing. And not only did you have to rewrite the whole thing, you had to do it. And you had to do it very slowly and very legibly, because that was going to be your final draft. But see, now computers, you can actually go back in there and change things pretty quickly. But the thing is, both of them, ladies and gentlemen, require work. From the rough draft to the final draft, there is work to be done. From the point in your life that you are at right now and everything that you've gone through to get into your life right now to where you want to be, there is work involved. You want to lose weight, there's work involved. You want a better job, there's work involved. You want more love, there's work involved. You want less love, there's work involved. Whatever you want out of your life, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to step forward and take hold of who you are. The whole point of a rough draft is to say, this is where I am. Hold on, I use this one. This is where I am right now. At this point in time, this is where I am right now. This is the draft. This is what I believe my essay should be. And as you get the paper marked up, you must go back. See, because the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, this is a screenshot of who you are right now. So what does your rough draft say? And when somebody tells you about that something's wrong with your rough draft and they start putting red marks on it, are you going to say, nah, man, my essay's good. I ain't got to change nothing. Or you're going to be the smart person that steps forward and says, okay, I know what I got to change. I see it now. Because if you do that, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? You get to the next level and your rough draft is different. And your rough draft changes. And then you can add different things in because you're smarter now. You understand things now. Never be scared of your rough draft. Embrace it, because in the essence of rough draft becomes something magical, mystical, and fantastic. To be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, life is a rough draft. And we're always completing and always achieving, and we're always striving to be something more. But the average person is not going to put stock into that because they've already gotten what they believed is all they needed to get. Most people spend 40 years of their life doing the same thing because that's where they thought they were supposed to go. And that's all they ever strove for or strive for. That's all they ever reached for. That's it. So all I want you to do is think about it. Is your life where you want to be? What's your rough draft? Could you turn your rough draft in? Are you perfect? Now, the crazy thing is that you want your final draft to be as perfect as possible. So think about it. Is your life perfect? Is your life fantastic perfect? Some of you are going to say yes, but you're lying to yourself. There's things in your life that you hide. There's things in your life that you have secrets. There's things in life that you want to change. There's things in life you want to change in others. But first, guess what? It starts with your rough draft. You're trying to do pure edits on somebody else's rough draft. You can't even spell the word family. Oops. Wait, hold on. That's too far. That's a whole different ballgame, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, here's what I need you to do. Take stock in who you are. Once you take stock in who you are, get with people who aren't like you. Pure edits are okay, but it's not like a teacher grading it, because a teacher knows some things that you don't know. And if you knew what the teacher knew, then you would be the teacher, right? So find some people who are striving for what you want, or are at least above you, and start to ask them questions. Find out what's going on with their life. Read books. Put in the educational videos. Go to YouTube and type in motivational videos or inspirational videos. Do that and see what you come up with, because what that's doing is that's programming you. That's all I got for you, ladies and gentlemen, because in all reality, you are amazing, but you're not done yet. You're just a rough draft. And remember, I believe and I love in each and every single one of you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a fantastic Wednesday, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Goodbye.